What is a contingency and why do I even care? Well, hey, it's Jennie Wolek with the Wolek Group here at Keller Williams Realty in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Contingencies are becoming a bit more popular these days. And to be honest, it just really depends on the market as to when a contingency can come into play in a real estate transaction. So, we are always helping our clients through all of the seasons and the reasons that they need to make a move. And depending on what is happening, real estate is based on supply and demand. And when there is more demand, buyers tend to have a little less negotiating power than when the demand is low. And so, what we are seeing here in the local market in Tulsa, Oklahoma, is that, like across the country, days on market is creeping up a bit. Interest rates are what they are. They're just everyone's used to those now. So, those aren't keeping people necessarily from buying. But what is happening when those things are going on with uncertainty and other reasons that people may need to make a move or not make a move, the decisions that they're making for their families, then we see that buyers may have a little bit more negotiating power. And what I mean by that when it comes to a contingency is that they may not want to risk buying a new home without their current home selling first. So, a contingency by definition would be that a buyer would make an offer on a property contingent on their home selling. Now, our contracts allow for this to happen, that it's in writing and everyone understands exactly what's going on and the timelines that are associated with it. But what happens is that although sellers in today's market may need to consider accepting a contingency, it's still not a super strong offer on the buyer's part if they're also going to ask for other concessions. See, whenever markets start changing a bit, the power tends to go from one side or the other. We're really just getting to a bit more of a balanced market. And to be honest, we are seeing clients that on the selling side, they may need to come off their listing price a bit. That's what the statistics are showing us as well. And so with a plan of negotiating a little bit off that listing price, and we are also seeing that sellers are offering to pay some concessions for a buyer. So, a concession would be something like giving a credit at closing, maybe for repairs or for closing costs, all written out and agreed upon in advance. But these are things that are happening in today's market. Well, we're seeing contingencies on the rise. It's not necessarily a bad thing as a seller. It does secure a contract with somebody who really wants to buy your home. It's just that now we're taking a little risk of taking your home off the market fully. As a seller, with you accept a contingent contract, you still get to keep your home on the market. It is marked as contingent on the MLS, but it still is open to receive showings and even offers. Now, the good news is, as a seller, you get to keep marketing your property, which is great, but also you can accept another contract and negotiate those terms. And then, when you have an agreed upon contract with a second buyer, the first buyer, though, does get an opportunity to remove their contingency. So we call this a kick-out clause, and it's all in writing in our contingency addendum, and it allows for the seller to give notice to the buyer that they have an accepted contract. This contract and terms does not need to be disclosed, but it does need to be in writing. And then the buyer has X number of days to consider whether they want to remove their contingency and move forward with closing, or if they just want to back out, and they will get their earnest money back. So there's a lot to know when it comes to a contingency. As you can tell, there's a lot of details. Now, why it's valuable for a buyer is it just helps them not have the risk of two mortgages, owning two homes at the same time. But to be honest, when we're advising our buying clients on how to best proceed, whether to present a contingency offer or not, the most powerful offer that you could have would be to already have your home on the contract, on the market, and have a contract in place. This makes your offer stronger and it shows the seller that you are actually able to move forward, hopefully in 35 to 45 days. You're not just still rolling the dice on seeing if a buyer will come along and buy the buyer's property. So, that's usually my advice. Let's get your home on the market. We won't leave you homeless. If we aren't able to secure a new property for you, then we'll write that into the contract that you are, it's contingent on you finding a replacement home. There's many ways for us to still protect you as a buyer or as a seller to help you set yourself up for success in either situation. The truth is that in a market, in any real estate market, a stronger offer would always be one that does not include a contingency. So, whatever you can do to set yourself up. For example, me and my husband and my family, when we knew we wanted to move to a different part of town, we actually found a rental. It was a past client's property that they were renting in an area we knew that we wanted to move to. So we went ahead and rented that home for a year and sold our existing home. That allowed us to not be stressed about waiting on one thing to happen before the other. It allowed us to get to the area and the part of town we wanted to be in eventually. And then we were able to sell our home, have money in the bank, and be ready to go when that next home came on the market. If you're able to go that route, I highly encourage it. But if not, that's okay. We can guide you through the process of buying and selling at the same exact time. We've got the systems in place, we understand the timelines, and we definitely understand how to help make sure that you do not end up homeless, and that if you're a seller that you are able to get the most for your property so you can move on to your next home. I hope this is helpful. I know there's a lot of details inside of it. The great thing is we have experience in helping our clients, and we also know and understand the contract and timelines, which is the most important part. Let me know if this is helpful. Let me know if you've attempted to buy and sell at the same time, and how did that go?